Call tonight's meeting of the City Council North Bend to order for August 16th, 2022. Would the clerk please confirm the roll?
I'll call the roll. Mayor Pro Tem Jonathan Rosen,
Here.
Councilmember Brendan Elwood,
Present.
Councilmember Alan Godhelp,
Here.
Councilmember Mark Jocelyn,
Present.
Councilmember Heather Poland, Councilmember Ross Loudenback,
Right here.
Councilmember Mary Miller. Here. All are present with the exception of Councilmember Heather Cohen. Honor.
Very much. For tonight's flag salute, may I call on our new captain, Brian Lynch, to lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag, United States of America, the republic which it stands, nation, under God, visible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Captain. I appreciate that.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to add AB 22-102 to the end of tonight's agenda.
22-102 concerning.
Sorry.
Concerning.
It is to a contract amendment proposal for Mile Foster and Alongi, sir.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I heard Ms. Miller first, so I have a motion by Mr. Loudenback, second by Ms. Miller. Any conversation? Favor of the addition?
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Rosen, are we hearing you?
That was I.
Thank you. That item is added. That item, clerk, is now what? Number 8. Very much. Okay. With that, next item on the agenda then is the consent agenda. May I get a motion? Motion by Mr. Godhelp, second by Mr. Elwood. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries and it is unanimous. At this time, we'll call upon citizen comments. If you are here tonight and like to address City Council on any item not on tonight's agenda, this is your time. If you're here in the audience, please step to the podium. You are on the virtual. We'll indicate in the chat box and then we will call on you. We'll start with those here in the chambers. Please come up to the podium and you'll start with your name and address for the record. You'll have up to 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name is Terry Jensen. I live at 12113 434th Avenue Southeast in North. A couple, 3 things that's occurred to me that I'd like to bring up tonight. One is safety of this place for your employees and the public who visit here. Came here a couple months ago and I was astounded that there's no security camera or anything else like that for people. I think you need it. I think your employees deserve it. It doesn't cost much to hang up a camera of some sort today. I don't think it can't happen here because that's what we thought every other place. So I think you should consider that. I think you should act on it. I think you should do so with urgency. Next, traffic circle. At the intersection of North Bend Way and Mount Si Road by the little shack, there's a desperate need for a traffic circle. I don't know if you're planning it, considering what you're doing, but during rush hours, much worse than the weekend, quality of life of all of us who live up that area is just impacted severely. And weekends with the hiking of the trail up there, it's incredibly dangerous. The wait is insufferable at times. And what you do have happening is because some people are waiting there for a long time to make a left turn, other people then are doing other silly things like running on the side of the road on the right where they're not supposed to be, and then they can't see from the cars trying to turn left, the other car speeding down the road. You're going to have some accidents there. Next, let me congratulate you on the yard waste program. doing very well. You're stopping people from discarding it, from problem burning, tossing in the river. The only thing I would say is you've reasonably tried to limit how much people can drop there. What you've got is a one load limit. That's really not a very effective, fair load. My little Chevy Colorado back isn't that long, not that wide. A Ford 150 or a 350 can put 4 of mine in there. What you should do is have some kind of limit on weight or half a yard or a week yard or something like that. Next, something that's come up before, and I did this before in the office here tonight. I think that the city should work with Snoqualmie and have a First Responders Day. Honor these people. They're under attack all the time, both physically and in the press. And let's get together with our neighboring city, who the police cover, and do something to recognize them, appreciate them, and kind of go on record on their behalf. I'll hold it to that for this evening. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll just return to my seat and be quiet. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Jensen. I think we probably on several of those topics have good news. Bree, do you have anyone in the virtual world?
No one at this time.
Very much. We'll move on for now, but I think Mr. Regos might have some things to a little later when it's his turn to speak. Community and Economic Development Commission and Committee reports. So Member Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. CED met today at August 16th at 3 p.m. in the adjournment room. We had 2 items on our agenda. One that spoke into the site workshop contract. This is something we are going to be inviting more council to understand the project further in the future. Won't be too long from now. Second item was SVSD Capital Facilities Plan 2022 for school impact fees. We had Ryan Stokes in attendance, and he presented a capital facilities plan with some discussion and some questions. We will next meet September 20th.
Wood Finance and Administration.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Finance and Administration meeting is canceled on August 2nd. Our next meeting will be September 6th at 4 p.m. The adjournment room to my left.
You. One's not here. Public Health and Safety, Mr. Lonbeck.
Thank you, Your Honor. Public Health and Safety last met on August the 9th at 4 p.m. in the adjournment room. We had an update from the police department, an update from the fire department, an update on the needle exchange program ordinance, and a discussion of the fireworks ban. Your Honor.
You ought to move right on to Transportation and Public Works.
Get Her Done Committee met on July 26th. And on the agenda was a resolution accepting a bill of sale, public infrastructure at the Phoenix Plaza project, motion authorizing contract amendment with RH2, Lisa Marshall and Mark Rigos, and motion adopting franchise agreement with Puget Sound Energy. We're all hoping that that eventually comes to pass. Mark and Lisa discussing an item that's going to be on the agenda later this evening, the Deferred Improvement Agreement, DIA, for properties along North Bend Way in association with Complete Streets program. Mr. DeBerg, contract authorizing PSC to remove existing electrical service at the wastewater treatment plant. Mr. Rigos again, resolution prioritizing water connections to supply inside the city limits, which was passed in the last meeting. And Mr. Moore, motion authorizing the change order wastewater treatment plant HB1 phase 2. And we will next meet on the 23rd of next week, 4 p.m. in the adjournment room. That's all, Your Honor.
Very much. Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Rosen.
Thank you, Your Honor. We met on July 26th at 7 p.m. at City Hall, and we discussed the complete streets, which you're starting to see the very first element of tonight. I think the public will love what eventually comes out of that and the reimagination of North Bend Way and other streets throughout our city. So that is a work in progress, but we have begun. That is all, Your Honor.
Very much. Scott Health, East Side Fire and Rescue.
As usual, our August meeting was canceled
We will be meeting back in September. We take August off.
That's the quickest report I think we've had. Thank you. Thank you for that. Planning Commission, Parks Commission, Economic Development Commission. Stemming.
Thank you, Mayor. The Planning Commission was off due to the summer schedule and will next meet on September 8th for a public hearing and discussion on updates to the transportation element of the comprehensive plan being coordinated by the city's consultant on the project, Karen Pierce. Parks Commission has not met since our last update to council. However, the Parks Commission hosted a booth at the July 21st North Bend Farmers Market and will do so again at the September 1st Farmers Market, soliciting input on future park improvements in the coming update to the parks element of the comprehensive plan. The next meeting will be on August 24th, at which they will review draft amendments to the parks element and prepare for a public workshop on the parks element update currently scheduled for September 28th. Economic Development Commission did not meet in July. At the next meeting in August, Basin Maine will present preliminary findings, updates to the 2018 economic profile and retail leakage analysis. This meeting may be rescheduled from August 23rd to August 30th. Thank you.
Congratulations, I'm beginning to feel guilty for calling you all here tonight. Regional committees, Mr. Lonback, anything from PIC?
In the spirit of EFER, SCA took August off.
Gonna bet no other
Well,
regional committees met. Okay, I'll offer just one. King County Flood District did indeed meet just today, in which we were going over the fundamentals of our budget, looking at things that had changed, and the first draft of our recommendation letter to the county. There will be many more meetings on that topic before it's finalized. What's that? Anyone else? Miller.
Thank you. I'm an alternate for Watershed Forum, but we are going to be meeting on Thursday night up at the Salish, hosted by the Snoqualmie tribe. Good.
Fantastic. With that, introductions. Item number 7 on your agenda is AB 22-101. This is a resolution authorizing a deferred improvement and no protest agreements. Regos.
Thank you, Mayor Rob. Good evening, council. Rob, would you like me to address the audience's comment first?
Please.
So thank you for your comments tonight regarding the roundabout at Mount Si Road and North Bend Way. That is within our 6-year transportation improvement plan. We do have some funding to start design, engineering, surveying work for that intersection. So it's in our top 5 or top projects. So it's very possible, very likely we could have a full roundabout, adequate size to ease transportation congestion at that intersection, fully constructed within 2, 3, 4 years. That I will jump into the presentation, which is on 45 of your packets. This is about the DIA, not the DOA. And I feel like the DIA, this is the Deferred Improvement Agreement, is the second step ongoing Complete Streets program. Step 1 was to have the consultant commence work on the North Way corridor. You may recall meeting with Ed Young at a recent city council work study. It was Mayor Pro Tem Jonathan Rosen tonight. Quick summary of the DIA is number 1, the DIA only affects properties at a North Bend Way, about a section of a street about 4 to 5 miles long. Number 2, the DIA allows property owners to move forward with their project, having to underground existing head utility lines, build concrete curbs or sidewalks, build sidewalk islands to nowhere. 3, the DIA commits the property owner to financially support the North Bend Way Complete Streets project that moves forward. Note that we would not build all segments at once. First construction segment would not begin for a couple years once we are the Complete Streets plan done. Number 4, this DIA will expedite economic development. This is a good thing for the city. There's an interest for seeing commercial projects move forward sooner rather than later along the North Shore. Commercial sales tax is for a huge portion of city expenses compared to property. 5th, the construction of individual 3 to 6 block length complete street segments is more cost effective at the same time. Piecemealing the construction edge, each individual property owner would cost much more. 6, so far, we have heard from several commercial property owner applicants who are supportive of DIA. Last, the complete streets projects are grant eligible, upwards of many millions of dollars. Using other people's money to benefit our community as a happy to answer any questions. I also have City Attorney Lisa Marshall. She's available to answer any. As she is. That's fine.
Being none. If you are a member of the public and wish to speak on this item, please either step to the podium or indicate so in the chat box and we'll open you. I'll have a minutes to speak and with your name, address for the record. And in the audience, do we have anyone online?
No one at this time.
Mr. Loudback, we're back to you.
Appears to be my evening, Your Honor. Thank you. Motion to approve AB 22-101, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute deferred improvement and no protest agreements between property owners and developers of property along North Bend Way benefited by North Bend Way Corridor Project.
Do I have a second? Motion and a second. On back.
I think Mark gave us a really good outline. We all went through the work study and understand the concept. Basically, it's allowing us to pool projects and save money on mobilization and other, rather than doing it piecemeal, doing it in segments as he explained. And it's probably the common sense way to go. Once you have a comprehensive design in place, it makes sense to then bring in the contractors and do it in sections by section. So I would recommend a do pass on this.
Ms. Miller.
Once again, I follow Ross with a very eloquent commentary, which I totally agree with. And Mark, you gave a great explanation about projects themselves. I always will like the concept of grants being out there to help us, help the community save money. So have benefits like this, outstanding looking projects coming our way and really be happy and proud about it in the end result.
You. So. Rosen, I'm looking up at you just to be sure. Oh, all right. With that, the motion before you is to approve AB 22-101, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute deferred improvement and no protest agreements between property owners and developers of property along North Bend Way, benefited by the North Bend Way Corridor Project. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries and it is unanimous. Thank you very much for that. At this time, then, we will move to the item that was added to the agenda earlier this evening. Item number 8, 22-102, regarding Mall Foster and Ongi. Torrijos.
I can take this on. So sorry about getting this to you just today. There was a pretty fast burn rate from this consultant over the past 2 or 3 weeks. They were doing a tremendous amount of work, working with our IO, our mayor, himself, etc., getting us ready for some necessary community engagement. So we have spent roughly that $7,000 amount. We may not have our council meeting on September 6th. Sure that we have resource available staff or so. So we may not spend much of this $25,000 next 3 months. Quite a bit of just want to be prepared and resource available. So far, we've been very happy with this consultant's work. We'll be happy to once they see some of the that are. So.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on this item? The audience or in the
No one at this time.
Mr. Laudenbach, back to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Motion to approve AB 22-102, authorizing the mayor to sign a contract amendment with Mall Foster and Alongi Incorporated in a form and content acceptable to the city attorney, an amount not to exceed $25,000.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second by Mr. Elwood. Mr. Laudenbach, anything to add?
No, the purpose behind this, the engagement with this firm is pretty clear, and I'm looking forward to positive results generated by their effort.
Mr. Elwood. I'm sorry, Mr. Not help. Wow, you guys are starting, or I heard it alike. I apologize.
Well, you said the same thing about, me transferring Jonathan. So, you're for two there, Mike.
I'm all over. this.
All over the place. I think it's the right thing. The only question I have, I don't know if you want me to wait questions, but I've never seen the exhibit D. Can I get an explanation of what exhibit D is on this? Or this? All of a sudden I just looked at the exhibit D.
Meaning the exhibit is missing from your,
No, it's in there, but trying to understand why exhibit D is in there.
Which page is the exhibit D?
Page 11.
Page 11. Okay.
might need your legal counsel's support in this one.
I'm guessing I know which one it is without looking. Yeah. Could you confirm for me though what the title of that exhibit is? Yeah.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you. The simple answer is a lot of these requirements are did by insurance carrier legislation. Each session,
Closer to the mic.
each session changes, adding more and more protections for consumers and things like the Electronic Signatures Act that went into effect. So this is yet one more of our legislatures, recent pieces of work that I'm sure require us to each and every contract, or contractors know what they're right.
I believe the short answer is yet another boilerplate added
Yep.
to standard contracts.
That's
Does that
it.
answer your question, Mr. Gatto?
Yes, let's make things more difficult for business.
Did you have anything further?
No, I think that ended up.
I do, Your Honor. Just one brief humorous note. It was the same state that passed this through the legislature that compels people in our position to file a secure Washington account in order to file and run, and to file our F1 forms. And I received a note, as all of you did, 2 years ago, that said that the account had been breached and all of our information had been stolen. So as much as I appreciate the addition of the Identity Theft Act, I think that it's incumbent upon us all to realize that it is important to protect our identity. And I look forward to the state doing more to protect our identities as we do business with them.
Mr. Loudon. Anyone else?
Simply noting the shortness of the turnaround time, well explicable and understood, and I know that staff cannot anticipate everything, and in fact, this is an act of looking forward. It nonetheless does deny, I consider, adequate process and ability of the respond when things like this are on the agenda. I will be voting in support, but I did want to, again, just it's not the way I would prefer to see the city do business and things come before us. The structure that on the committee, and again, I'm understanding and sympathetic, but I'd to at least call it out. Thanks.
Thank you for that.
Yes, we do understand that comment as well. Everything we can to avoid those situations. With that, the motion before you is to approve 22-102, contract amendment with Mall, Foster and Alongi. In the amount not to exceed $25,000. In favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. It is unanimous. Thank you very much for that. This time, we will move to Mayor, Council, Administrator concerns and initiatives. I'll look first tonight. I mean, I might as well stick with you, Mr. Laudenbach.
Thank you, Your Honor. The only thing I have to say is that, again, another successful festival at Mount Si. Thanks to everybody who made it a success, and appreciate everybody coming out and supporting the local business in addition to the festival location itself. And look forward to many more in the future. So thanks to the committee and all the volunteers, and really enjoyed myself. So, Your Honor.
Ms. Miller.
I'm going to leapfrog along with that. I was there at the parade. I was at the festival for one of the days. I enjoyed myself immensely. It really is astounding to me that 5 individuals pulled this off in a matter of 2 months. Really want to thank our Public Works Department. You did an excellent job, each and every one of you that made that route safe and easy to direct and be around. And it looked great too. So thank you very much on a personal level. And also, please be safe out there. We've got multiple projects going on. I know everybody's in the throes of loving the warm weather, and just thank you for your patience when you go through these zones. We really appreciate it. And be careful on the water, as always.
Mr. Godhill.
Yeah, first, want to reiterate, Councilmember Jocelyn's, we do need to follow process, and we need to follow process. We're bringing stuff forward here when we have discussions within the. The other point I'd like to make and point out to everybody is I'd like to urge everybody to be a little bit more safe when you're going down North Bend Way and you see blinking lights when people are trying to cross the intersection. Continue to see when they're in the intersection watching cars go by. Somebody's going to get hit, and you're not going to be happy when they get hit either way. Please, the reason they're blinking is because somebody's in the intersection or trying to enter the intersection. Please, for the safety of our residents, the safety of you and your car insurance, financial insurance, I would appreciate.
Mr. Elwood.
Kind of going off the note of safety, I wanted to thank Mr. Jensen for his comments tonight. Those are topics that we are talking about, specifically about staff safety here and security cameras and so forth. So that is on our radar and on our agenda to solve, and I appreciate the rest of your comments. Other than that, I'm glad that the weather's cooling down a bit, but I understand it's going to get hot, so stay cold.
Mr. Jocelyn.
Nothing tonight. Thank you, Your Honor.
Miller, anything for the administration this evening? Good. I have just a few notes here, echoing several other comments here. The festival at Mount Si, that was great to see it back. It came off very well. Thank you to the festival committee organizers, Public Works staff, and the Snoqualmie North Police Force, which did all of their duty in helping us be safe and direct. All the others that work to ensure a successful event after several years of hiatus. It's yet another sign that we are emerging, we're back, and we have a great community that likes to get together and spend time together. Stage 1 of the city's water conservation ordinance did go into effect yesterday, August 15th. Find out more about when you can water your lawn and garden during stage 1 and other water conservation tips, please visit news section of the city website. Also point out again, as was mentioned in a public comment earlier, yard waste recycling is open this Saturday, August 20th from 8 a.m. to noon at Public Works. Program is open to all who reside in the 98045 zip code area. City will also be holding a shredded event on Saturday, September 10th from 8 a.m. to noon at City Hall. This free event is open to all North Bend residents. Individuals may bring 2 file boxes or 3 grocery bags documents. Please do not bring stiff metal plastic bags, or DVDs. Those may jam the shredder. And finally, council, reminder that the August 23rd work study and the September 6th city council meeting have canceled, getting your vac. With that, I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Gotthealth, second by Mr. Elwood, beating him to the punch down there, or Mr. Loudenback. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.